Welcome to Map Autopsy. Today we got a special one for you. No ivory tower bullshit. No, well, actually, just the text versus the map you've been wearing like it's glued to your forehead. Quick method note. I'm not here to sell you a religion. I'm not here to sell you nihilism. Reason matters, but it doesn't rule everything. It steers. This is receipts plus mechanism. Here's the thesis. Plato didn't predict Christianity. He built an operating system that a later movement could run on. The New Testament writers didn't walk into the room like, hey guys, Jesus needs to say this because Socrates said this first. That's not how movements build authority. What they did do was historicize a pattern. They took a Greek philosophical machine, wrapped it in Jewish apocalyptic skin, and launched it as history. Influence isn't plagiarism, it's shared architecture. Point by point, receipt by receipt. So let's do the autopsy. Kill shot number 1, the Martyr-teacher template. Not copy and paste, structural translation. Unjust trial, refusal to flatter the court, silence when it matters, willing death for truth, students panicking. Please escape, please recant. Then the whole thing becomes a foundational myth that converts people. Plato receipts on this are apology, Crito, Phaedo. Trial posture, refusal to perform, calm acceptance of death. Crito 44b and onward, disciples begging for escape. Phaedo 115a and onward. Hemlock, like it's a sacrament. New Testament parallel, passion narratives, Mark chapters 14 and 15, and of course the synoptic mirrors of that, and John's own mirror. Trial theater, silence, acceptance, disciple scattering. Now, this matters. I'm not claiming the gospel writers are sitting there with Plato open like a homework assignment. I'm saying the martyr-teacher machine is already built, and Christianity runs it like a flawless program. And yes, people have noticed this rhyme for a long time. I'm just not saying it politely. Kill shot number 2 that we have coming up is Afterlife architecture. Here's the contrast. In much of the Tanakh, Sheol is a vague shadow pit, not a cinematic moral court, not a reward punishment machine, just the dead. Then Plato comes in and drops the full IMAX package: judgment, reward, punishment, soul separates from body, moral sorting, cosmic consequence. He even has the 1,000-year period that Revelation mirrors. Plato receipts on this are Republic, Book 10, Myth of Stephanus 614b through 621d. Souls judged, rewards and punishments, long cycles, a moral universe with teeth. Phaedo, soul separates from body. Philosophy as training for death. Phaedrus, chariot myth, reason versus passions, ascent towards the divine. New Testament parallel, heaven and hell, judgment, imagery. Matthew chapter 25, Revelation chapter 20. Spirit versus flesh as a central internal war. Romans chapter 8, Galatians chapter 5. Guardrail, because I can already hear it. Yes, late Second Temple Judaism develops judgment imagery. The point is that the shape that becomes dominant in the New Testament is perfectly legible in Platonic terms. So if you want to argue Christianity is purely Hebrew in its afterlife schema, you're going to have to explain why an underworld goes from fog to a courtroom Platonic. That shift's not subtle. It's tectonic. Kill shot number 3, mediator and transcendentals. Plato gives you the metaphysical scaffold where reality has a highest good, and there's an in-between being, a mediator, bridging divine and mortal. Plato receipts on this are Symposium, Stephanus 202d through 203a. Eros as demonic mediator between God and man. And Philebus, where the original Trinity comes from, the good as supreme, measure, truth, beauty. The architecture of value. New Testament parallel on this, God is love in 1 John chapter 4, Jesus as mediator in 1 Timothy chapter 2, and Hebrews chapter 9. Here's the clean claim. Christianity doesn't invent the mediator category. It inhabits it. And in the Hellenistic world, people already had that hardware to understand it. Kill shot number 4 coming up. Shepherd Weaver. Now this is the money section, the one that makes people go quiet. Plato's Statesman contains 2 linked bombs. Bomb number 1, what's showing here on the screen. The myth of the ages, where the divine shepherd once ruled. That's the age of Chronos. Okay, a divine shepherd rules the people in the age of Chronos, and they have abundance. And then humans are left to govern themselves. That's the age of Zeus to the right, where there's not abundance and there's not harmony. Bomb number 2, the true statesman is a weaver, binding opposite human types into one civic body. And the technical detail is insane. Warp and woof, courage and temperance, crossed into a single fabric. Plato receipts on this are Statesman 268e through 274e, Age of Chronos, Divine Shepherd Rule, now Age of Zeus. Statesman again, 279b through 283a, and 309b through c. Statesman as Master Weaver, Warp and Woof explicit. New Testament parallel on this. I am the Good Shepherd, John chapter 10, not under law but under grace. Romans chapter 6, that's the age of Chronos. They were trying to re-trigger the age of Chronos. A new citizen body, a new creation. Now listen carefully. Plato does not say cross. I'm not doing mystical prophecy cosplay. What I am saying, warp and woof form a cross shape when woven. That's how fabric works. This is geometry, not revelation. So when you show a warp and woof glowing as a cross, you're not inventing symbolism. You're revealing the machinery. Plato scripted the loom. And once you see it, it damn sure is hard to unsee. Kill shot number 5, the tyrant archetype. Republic Book 8 and Republic Book 9, the protector of the people becomes the predator, purges enemies, builds a guard, surrounded by flatterers, addicted to lawless appetite, starts wars to say necessary. Plato receipts on this are the Republic, Book 8, Stephanus 565d through 569c, and Book 9. New Testament parallel on this. Man of lawlessness, beast imagery, Antichrist type psychology. It's 2 Thessalonians 2 and the Book of Revelation. This isn't proof of copying. It's proof of a shared political, psychological template that fits a little bit too well. Now we're going to drop some echoes. Quick, sharp, and some of them are hilarious. Plato hunts the sophist by comparing him to the angler, a hunter who lures with bait. Plato receipts on this are the dialogue sophist, 218e through 221c. New Testament parallels fishers of men, Matthew 4:19. Same bait, different catch. Final cluster. These are echoes and rhymes, not all kill shots, but together they complete the atmosphere. Echo number 1 coming in, and this one I find really hysterical. Alcibiades, the dialogue Alcibiades and the dialogue Symposium. Socrates tries to turn Alcibiades towards the good. Alcibiades, in response, turns the teacher into an object of worship. This is found in the dialogue, first Alcibiades, which was the one that Stoics made you read first, and Symposium, Stephanus, pages 215 through 222. Echo number 2, Theaetetus. Knowledge as true judgment plus an account. Account there in the Greek is logos, so it's true judgment plus logos. Theaetetus, Stephanus 201c through D. Christianity's obsession with logos isn't coming from nowhere. It's coming from Heraclitus, and it's coming from right here in Plato's work on logos. Echo number 3, Cratylus. Names and words are reality shapers. If you want more on this, go read Ludwig Wittgenstein with Philosophical Investigations. Then John opens up in the Gospel. In the beginning was the Logos, which translated word there for a lot of Christians. Not the same argument, same obsession with word as world structure. Echo number 4, the cave itself, because here's the final sting. Even the philosopher doesn't fully leave the cave, not in a way that saves the crowd from worshiping the teacher instead of the good. And yes, Philo was already doing the Hellenistic remix in real time. The early Christian world is swimming in that soup. This isn't hate, this is pattern recognition on the operating system level. Plato didn't build Christianity alone, he built too much of the machinery for the resemblance to be accidental. And the darkest joke? Even the philosopher never fully leaves the cave. See you next time.